The Story of Civilization, Part 2, The Life of Greece, being a history of Greek civilization from the beginnings, and of civilization in the Near East from the death of Alexander to the Roman conquest, with an introduction on the prehistoric culture of Crete by Durant. Chapter 13. The Morals and Manners of the Athenians. Section 7. Greek Friendship. Stranger than this strange intent between prostitution and philosophy is the placid acceptance of sexual inversion. The chief rivals of the Hetairae are the boys of Athens, and the courtesans, scandalized to the very depths of their pockets, never tire of denouncing the immorality of homosexual love. Merchants import handsome lands to be sold to the highest bidder, who will use them first as concubines and later as slaves, and only a negligible minority of the males think it amiss that the effeminate young aristocrats of the city should arouse and assuage the ardor of aging men. In this matter of genders, Sparta is as careless as Athens. When Alcman wishes to compliment some girls, again I presume they mean young women, he calls them his female boyfriends. Athenian law disfranchises those who receive homosexual attentions, but public opinion tolerates the practice humorously. In Sparta and Crete, no stigma of any kind is attached to it. In Thebes, it is accepted as a valuable source in military organization and bravery. The greatest heroes in the fond remembrance of Athens are Harmodius and Aristogeiton. Tyrannicides and lovers. The most popular in Athens in his day is Alcibiades, who boasts of the men who love him. As late as Aristotle, Greek lovers plight their troth at the tomb of Iolaus, comrade of Heracles, and Aristippus describes Xenophon, leader of armies and hard-headed man of the world, as infatuated with young Plinius. The attachment of a man to a boy, or of a boy to a boy, shows in Greece all the symptoms of romantic love, passion, piety, ecstasy, jealousy, serenading, brooding, moaning, and sleeplessness. And of course, by boy, I again presume they mean a young man, someone who has yet to have the wrinkles and all that you tend to get after the age of 25, or 25 and later, all that. What Plato in the Phaedrus talks of human love, he means homosexual love, and the disputants in his Symposium agree on one point, that love between a man and a man is nobler and more spiritual than love between a man and a woman. Some people that practice what monotheism would consider forbidden magic would say that homosexuals are nowadays, they say the whole LGBTQA, whatever other letters they've added to the alphabet by now. They would say that they're more useful for the spiritual creativity thing, and heterosexual is for the material regenerative aspect, or some doctrine like that. But really, regardless of your spirituality, you can really turn whatever is acceptable towards. A similar inversion appears among the women, occasionally among the finest, as in Sappho, frequently among the courtesans. The Atrides love one another more passionately than they love their patrons. Atrides. And the Porneia are hothouses of lesbian romance. And, that's, I guess, where we get our word, lesbos and lesbian. How shall we explain the popularity of this perversion in Greece? Aristotle attributes it to fear of overpopulation, which is now one of the things they're pushing as far as that's concerned. Barack Obama said similar things. And this may account for part of the phenomenon, but there is obviously a connection between the prevalence of both homosexuality and prostitution in Athens and the seclusion of women. After the age of 6, the boys of Heraclean Athens are taken from the Gynaecium, in which respectable women spend their lives and are brought up chiefly in companionship with other boys or men. Little opportunity is given them in their formative and almost neutral period to know the attractiveness of tender sex. The life of the common mess hall, so, they're grooming them even before they're going to use them. So if they're not attracted to children, they're definitely training the children so they will be of their liking when they get older, and they would want them that way. The life of the common mess hall in Sparta, of the agora, gymnasium, and palastra in Athens, and the career of the ephebos show the youth only than the male form. Even art does not announce the physical beauty of women until Praxiteles. In married life, the men seldom find mental companionship at home. The rarity of education among women creates a gulf between the sexes, and men seek elsewhere the charms that they have not permitted their wives to acquire. To the Athenian citizen, his home is not a castle, but a dormitory. From morning to evening, in a great number of cases, he lives in the city and rarely has social contacts with respectable women other than his wife and daughter. Well, that aspect can be, of only having contact with those women, that can lead towards chastity or preserved chastity rather than, Greek society is unisexual, and this is the disturbance, grace, and stimulation that the spirit and charm of women will give to Renaissance Italy and enlightened France. Now, did France actually become enlightened or backwards? It's up to some moral and other opinions.